For those of you that might not know, my name is Boris. I'm head of social here at OMG, and today I'm going to take you through a Black Friday strategy overview. Just really top line how customers should be approaching Black Friday, or the whole of Q4 really, the peak retail season, and what they should be doing to prepare, and when they should be preparing, and what they should be doing at this point as we head into October. Is that recording started yet? Cool. And then I guess the final run during November, and then also more happens afterwards as well, because the sales season doesn't stop there; it keeps going all the way through Christmas. So it's really just one big quarter of sales. So I just jump straight into this section. So I just tell you a bit about Black Friday, its history, how it ended up in Australia being an American thing. And what it really means, because it's not really a Black Friday as in like one day, it's become so much more than that. It's not even just a weekend or a week, it just kind of keeps expanding. So I'll tell you a bit about that. So Black Friday, so it started in the US a few decades ago. It happens to always be on a Friday because it follows Thanksgiving, which I think is always the fourth Thursday of November. And once that's out of the way, that's when the retailers start launching all their deals for all the Christmas shoppers. And over time, they kind of grew bigger and bigger, and it became the big event it is now, the biggest retail event of the year. Why is it called Black Friday? It's simply taken from being in a black and making profit versus being in a red and making a loss. That's how it originally came about, and that's just stuck. Now we've got this Cyber Monday now tacked on the back of that as well. So obviously in the 80s they didn't have Cyber Monday. So what would happen is Black Friday is when all the offers would be launched, and it would go all weekend. Shoppers will hit the shopping malls, get their deals, and it kind of be over by Monday. And then I guess in the last decade or so, I'm not sure whose idea it was, but Cyber Monday came about to focus on online deals. That's when really all the e-commerce focused businesses launched a lot of their offers, or there's various combinations that different kinds of businesses do these days. And that Cyber Monday is now actually grown into Cyber Week. So you're going to hear this expression Cyber Week. So you can go for 2-3 days, you can go for a week. Sometimes it'll keep rolling in towards all the way to Christmas. So this year it'll be on November 29th and Cyber Monday on December 2nd. I think last year was November 24th, so it does shift around a bit. Now that's already getting confusing in terms of when does it start? How many days is it? What is it like in Australia versus the US? And the answer is it's going to depend on how each brand approaches it. There are some brands that will literally run a one-day sale. A lot of brands will go the other way and start their sales like 10 days out. So last year, a lot of Australian brands were starting their sales around the 14th, so 10 days before Black Friday. Another common one is they'll start on the day before, which is Thanksgiving Thursday. And how long does it go for? Like I said, it's expanded from being a day and a weekend to 4 days to those 4 days plus a week. Plus now, and the current, I guess, trend is to start earlier and earlier. So at the moment, it's about 10 days out. So, but it does keep creeping a bit further forward. In the US, especially, in Australia, people still tend to wait until kind of Black Friday for all the big deals to be released. But that is also changing with the bigger retailers starting much earlier. And in terms of marketing to your own audience, like your email marketing list, your past purchases, that might start as early as October. So what retailers will do is they'll segment their lists, and all the different segments will start getting different offers. with kind of the VIP segments getting the biggest, deepest discounts as that time approaches. But really, what starts happening in October is kind of warming up that audience and getting them excited in anticipation of the big event. Start giving them some sneak peeks about what to expect, what kind of discounts they might expect, which products may be on sale, when, what are the critical dates for them to be watching their inbox, watching those deals hit their inbox, and we're also building up urgency and scarcity as well. So that's about kind of like saying, well, yeah, we're going to put an email out on this particular day to our VIP customers. You're going to get the biggest deals, but once we sell out of these products, the deal's done. So you better hit it. Watch your inbox, read the email straight away, go to the website and order as quickly as possible because the deal's going to run out. Now there's one more day has been added to this evolving calendar. There's now also a Small Business Saturday, which is the day after Black Friday. This was started by Amex. It's a fantastic idea for them, but basically on a Saturday, you're supposed to give love to the smaller businesses, not focus on the big retailers and the big brands. That's when the small businesses, launch a lot of their offers, and they get support from American Express, especially in the US. It hasn't really hit Australia so much, but I'm sure it will. It will soon. But brands that have worked with American Express, they get support. There's promotions that American Express will run and include these businesses, particularly in our local communities where they're likely to make the most impact. And of course, it's a great day for Amex as well. So there's now another term, the Summer 5, referring to these 5 days: Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Sunday, or is it Cyber Sunday? Yeah, I think it's Cyber Sunday, or Black Sunday, Cyber Monday. So that's 5 days, and then have many more days they'll roll on after that. I've included a few stats that you can steal from the presentation and may be useful in your conversations with customers. So on this slide, you've got just a few Australian-focused statistics. Oh yeah, thanks, mate. So last year, and it grows every year. So last year, the total value of goods sold over the 4 days. We don't count Thanksgiving in Australia, seeing as it's not a holiday. 8.7 billion worth of goods were sold over those 4 days, and that was a 22.5 increase on the previous year, where we had 7.1 billion worth of sales. So that's a massive jump just in that 1 year. Interestingly, 68% of the Black Friday purchases were online, which underscores how important it is for us and our customers. And again, there's massive growth in that as well, with growing 15% on the year before, and 31% compared to pre-COVID times. So it's shifting more and more online, particularly if customers can shop for these deals, across the whole anywhere online on the web, as opposed to going to a shopping mall and going shop to shop. They've done their prep. They've probably got their emails. They know what they want. They've got their shopping list. They've been waiting. They jump online and they go through the sites that they got on their list, and it just keeps getting bigger. And one more interesting stat is that 72.5% of the purchases were actually on mobile devices. So super important to have your website mobile optimized. Otherwise, the whole thing's going to be a bit of a waste of time. In addition to that, you need to have your website be able to handle the big surge in traffic. What does actually happen fairly often is that businesses don't think ahead about that, and you'll go to the website to hit up an offer, and the website's crashed because it's got too much of a surge of traffic, especially once that email goes out or some offer goes out. Everyone just starts clicking, and the server can't handle that surge. A couple of stats from the US. So Last year over that weekend, 197 million. So it shouldn't be a dollar sign. It should just be 197 million people were shopping over that weekend. And this year, this projected sales are 10 billion just for Black Friday alone, like that on that one single day. So that's more than last year in Australia, and that's AUD. We did over the whole 4 days. And now, an interesting thing also is that Black Friday is no longer the biggest day of this whole sale period. Cyber Monday has actually overtaken Black Friday as the biggest day of the sale period. And last year, it actually went over 12 billion in sales just on Cyber Monday. Whereas I think Black Friday was about 8 or 9. This is some forecasting for the US. I didn't have one for Australia, but you can see now that this is where they're using that Cyber 5 phrase. And you can see that Thanksgiving is actually quite a big day as well. It's bigger than the Saturday and the Sunday. We got see Black Friday projected to exceed 10 billion, and Cyber Monday is projected to reach almost 14 billion in sales just on that one day. And now some stats for e-commerce specifically. Stats from WooCommerce and from Shopify. So WooCommerce, they surveyed their merchants, and 46% of their merchants said they see up to 30% of their annual sales just from that weekend and the following week or two. Interestingly, also, their merchants said that 29% of them said that email marketing is the most important channel for them during that time. I'll come back to that in a minute as well to explain a bit more why that is. But really, it's about you're talking to your existing customers because they're going to be the biggest buyers. And a stat from Shopify, last year their merchants did 9.3 billion USD over that weekend. Again, that's more than all of Australian sales over the whole weekend combined from all retailers in Australia. So huge for Shopify, huge for DTC brands, direct-to-consumer brands in general. Now we'll look at some very top line Black Friday strategy. Obviously, we're talking about a whole bunch of different verticals and industries. There's going to be variations between them, but there are a few things in common. And we will focus more on the online segments. So one way to really describe what needs to happen is a shift to direct response as opposed to kind of brand awareness. This is not really a time to be doing brand awareness. It's too late for brand awareness. If they're unaware of your brand by now, they're not really paying attention. Consumers kind of know which brands they're going to be prioritizing during that period. And really, the audience is already primed to buy. They're not kind of looking around potential new brands. They know what they want, and they're just looking for the best deals on those things that they do want. So we've got an example funnel on the right there. So you could, and that's kind of income respondents do like awareness, consideration, and then there is product awareness where they actually know what your products are. And most aware are generally your customers or past customers. So problem aware is that our customers that they know they may want something, but they don't even know your brand. Solutions aware, they know there's a few different brands out there. They may be heard of your brand, but you're not really top of the list. Products aware is that they've already looked at your products. They know what you've got. They may actually be interested in some of your specific products. Most aware are the ones that you've got to focus on. They should already be in your email list and your retargeting list. They should be following you on Instagram or other social platforms are a focus for you, and that's where you should really be putting most of your budget and most of your focus. That's really like a November approach, not so much October. There's still a bit room for upper funnel activity, but the closer you get, the more that becomes the focus. Now, what are the most effective marketing channels? So as already mentioned, email marketing tends to rate highest for most brands. You really want to focus on your warmest audiences, and of course, that your email marketing list is where they're going to sit. A lot of your past purchases are already in that list. I mentioned that stat from WooCommerce, where 29% of merchants stated that email marketing is their most important marketing tool for Black Friday. And closely after that was organic social, over 25%. Again, because they're talking to their existing audience who are following them on all the social channels. So this is where they're really just drumming up the excitement, building anticipation, and getting those consumers primed to buy as soon as those offers go out. Now, paid social search, influencer marketing also rate highly, but nowhere near as high as those first two channels. With paid social, you would probably focus on retargeting primarily. Search, you can lean into brand terms because again, people are going to be knowing what they're looking for. Influencer marketing, something you should have organized much earlier, but again, it's leveraging your brand, leveraging those existing relationships, giving you another boost in reaching that already warmed up audience. And all that's supported by your usual paid channels and any other kind of retargeting you can do across various channels. You can and should be designing your bespoke email flows, like things like your cart abandonment flow should be thoroughly tested and optimized well in advance. Influence and affiliate marketing are some other channels that are used as well. And another trend has been to, particularly for those DTC kind of brands or suppliers, is to find new channels like marketplaces, and that's your Amazon and your eBay. Amazon is something that we're looking at offering customers at the moment. Getting some initial response, but there's just another place where you can find new buyers that you haven't reached yet on socials or wherever else. Anywhere you can find any audience is always great to get incremental reach. So that's another recommendation. All right, so just looking back on email, and while it is the king channel for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, it is the top choice of consumers as well, not just the merchants. I'm referencing another survey here by a platform called Cinch. They've got a product called Mailgun, which is, I guess, competitor to Klaviyo or MailChimp or whatever. So 70% of their respondents last year in a survey said they prefer to get their promotions directly in their inbox. They're not surfing the Facebook feed looking for offers. They do actually subscribe to those newsletters beforehand, so they can get the offers first, especially be on those kind of VIP lists, get the best deals because they do tend to come via email. And they also want to get their offers as early as possible. Like they definitely don't want to be waiting until Black Friday. Very few of them do. I think a couple of stats here. So 57% of people want to hear from brands well in advance of Black Friday. 36% said as soon as possible. 21% said they expect these communications a month before the big day, so they know exactly what to expect, especially from their favorite brands. And it was only 5.8% who said like they prefer to wait till Black Friday to get those offers. So really, the email campaigns should be firing, come October. Definitely don't wait till November. And if you've got offers, you can start rolling those out. Potentially end of October if those numbers are anything to go by. But definitely kind of mid-November, your kind of VIP email list, they should already be getting their offers ahead of time, if not everyone else. It's around that kind of 10-day out period, mid-November. The email offers should definitely be out. So key takeaway here is now is already too late to be building those lists. They should be pretty much ready to go by October. You should have spent the last quarter or more building up those lists, whichever way you can. Just now is kind of your last chance in October to boost them a bit more. so it can really hit them hard in November. A few mistakes to avoid. So obviously, don't leave planning too late. You should have your KPIs planned way ahead of time. And by now, you should have your goals, your KPIs all set. You know, what exactly are your revenue targets? What is the ROAS you're aiming for? You should have picked out your products, which potentially have either the best margins or they just simply the most popular. Where you can afford to add the deep discounts if they do have the deeper margins, and of course you need to make sure you're stocked up, that you don't run out of those particular products. So you need to put orders in for those months in advance. Testing and learning and experimenting. Again, November's too late. You should have done your testing prior. You should be looking at last year and see what worked last year, and then looking at what worked in the last few months, and then kind of combining those. So which products are selling the best? What offers, like what kind of creative is doing the best for you right now, or in the last 2 or 3 months, and then you can combine those and iterate, as opposed to testing new concepts. You're not rolling out new concepts at this point. It's way too late. You should have planned that a couple of months back. Don't get too granular. You are looking for wide appeal, so you'll see like the most popular offers are quite broad, like your site-wide percentage discounts. With your email, you can get a bit more segmented there, but in terms of kind of the broader offers going out, kind of on the main page channels, for example, keep that broad and keep it to a few key products and messaging. I've already talked about testing too much. Yeah, now it's time to scale your best performers, not try anything kind of bold, unproven, and new. You should already know what that is. Now, a quick look at content and creative, what potentially works. So on this slide, you've got a bit of a menu of all the different kind of offers that you'll see used over the sales period. But really, there's 4 or 5 that are basically used in the vast majority, 90% plus of cases. And then there's some examples here by particular verticals that do particularly well during our sales period, and you'll see each one. Site-wide discounts is always the most popular. It's simple, it's broad, costly chase. You don't want people to kind of get confused about, is this thing on sale? Is that product on sale? They just know like it's all, everything is on sale. Great, I'm just going to go get what I want. Sometimes there might be a tiered approach, or that you may pick out a few different products to push. That's also quite common. It's second most common approach, which also makes sense. Some products are very low margin, so you don't want to apply a very large deep discount to everything if your margin varies significantly between different products. And then you'll see like in a few different verticals, there's particular offers that work really well, like in beauty and cosmetics. A free gift with purchase is a popular one because it works well in that industry. Home and garden free shipping works well, potentially because some of those items are bulkier and standard shipping would normally be probably more expensive. So that's actually a valuable add-on, a valuable kind of offer, which wouldn't be as relevant for in fashion or apparel, where you get a lot of free shipping anyway. Now, looking at creative specifically, like I said, don't test new things, don't look at new creative concepts, don't reinvent the wheel. What you want to do is iterate on what you've already got working in the past, build on what's already been proven to work. So a common technique is reskinning your top BAU creative for Black Friday. So there's a couple of examples there where you've got a couple of ads that have worked well in recent times for a particular product, the messaging, whatever it is that worked about that particular creative. Like to be honest, it's the Facebook creative, so you did well. So what do? We add the offer to that creative, and do a few tweaks here and there. You add your site-wide sale offer, or the buy one get one free, whatever it is. In the second example, But you can see it's using the strong elements from that BAU creative and then adding the best working elements from the Black Friday kind of catalog. And this is where you can look at what worked best last year, what's working for competitors, and then try overlaying them in a few different ways. And it's really important to also now add urgency, because everyone's out there pushing their sales. So how do you get people to prioritize you and come to you? Create urgency. Make sure that they purchase from you and don't spend time shopping around, because before long that sale will go to someone else. So make sure you've got really strong CTA banners, again pushing that urgency. We talk about time-sensitive offers, giving time-sensitive discount codes that expire very quickly, and also stick with that really bold, bright messaging, because people's attention spans are shorter than ever during this period. They're hopping from site to site. They're looking for the best deal. They don't want to miss out. You don't have much. You have even less time than usual to get their attention, and then to keep it. So your visuals need to be dynamic, high energy. There's transitions. They need to have them fast, and always you want to start with the offer and end with the offer. So you've got short video creative. First thing the user sees is that strong offer. Cycle through, build up the urgency, and follow up with the offer once again. So that's the last thing they also see, and it sticks in their mind before they have a chance to head off somewhere else. And ideally, they've clicked through and they've gone to your website now. We're going for time. So the last section is a bit of an action plan. Again, it's quite general. It's 4 simple sections. So it's 4 parts to the plan. First is the actual planning phase, which ideally should start like 90 days out. So in August, you should already be working out what are your KPIs, what are your goals, what products you're going to push, making sure you're stocked up on those particular products, and building up those email lists, probably from June, July, ideally. Again, even August is getting too late to build up email lists. Grow your socials, because that's the other channel where you've got an audience that's already trusting your product and already interested in your brand. So you want to grow that following. So again, when you start pushing the offers out, you're reaching as many people as possible. Next, you want to sort out all your platforms, and that includes both your hosting platforms. So like your website, where is it hosted? Is it going to be able to handle the surge in traffic? Is your mobile app thoroughly tested, not going to crash? Right at the worst possible time. Now the other kinds of platforms are all your media platforms. So you should know by now what platforms you are going to use. For your email platform, you've got all your flows set up, tested, all the copy optimized. You should still be tweaking, the subjects and the offers in the email. You can continue to optimize iteratively in there, but should really, for the most part, be set up like a month out. So in October, should really have email working very confidently. And we have some offers right now that we're sharing with customers to basically do an audit of their email accounts, where we will look for any gaps that they have, anything that they're not utilizing to maximize their returns for Black Friday. Are they missing any flows? Is any of the messaging potentially weak? We can do that audit. It's a free audit. Any implementation from that would be a paid plan. There's also a management plan they can go onto, like a monthly plan where we can have content done for them. We can have optimization ongoing for them throughout the year. But right now, it's really the time to just tune up what you've got already. And a lot of customers right now are quite stressed about all these platforms, where the budget's going to go. Are they ready? Have they got the creative right? Have they got those flows right? So we can offer them some help here, so at least relieve those worries about the email marketing, make sure that platform's optimized. It's all lined up and ready to go. It's just, a matter of pressing go, and it all just goes smoothly. Um, a lot of customers we speak to, they've set things up themselves. They've had a go. They think it's working. They think it's kind of best practice, but they're not sure. They're a bit worried. They would like some help. So now it's a really good opportunity to have that chat with them, get them on board, and help them out. Also creatives. So that should, for the most part, be ready 30 days out. So in October, the creative plan should already be made, and that's again those kind of iterative kind of creatives. But you still want to have variations within that. And you still want to test different call to actions, different colors here and there, different offers. So you're kind of doing a kind of fine tuning of creative as opposed to launching new concepts or anything. But really, if you've got to shoot videos, you've got to send it off to get edited. You want to optimize for different platforms, whether it's TikTok or Instagram. October is the time to do all that. So November, it's all ready to go. You don't want to hit mid-November and realize that your creative's in the wrong format. It's getting rejected by the platforms. So many things can go wrong. So get in early, get that sorted. Like I mentioned before, optimize your website experience and your mobile experience. And this is beyond just load bearing. Is the actual customer experience on a website smooth? When people go to the website, they go to the offer page. Is the journey from that landing page to the purchase page as efficient, as short, as quick, as frictionless as possible? Because this is where we see a lot of drop off. Especially here, people are impatient that if they're being held up by your path to conversion, they're going to get impatient and go somewhere else. So it's all going to be fast loading, hard hitting with urgency messages, and just cut out as many steps as possible. Pre-fill data, especially if they're existing customers, you've already got their data. You should pre-fill those forms when they go to the purchase page, and then you should also be utilizing as much as possible upsell and cross-sell opportunities, increase the order, the basket size. This is a really big opportunity there as well, especially if you have things like tiered discounts, or other other offers in combination with your existing offers. Promotions. So your promotions, the plan should really be ready a month out, but you should be launching them in those last 30 days. All the campaigns should be set up. It says 10 to 30 days, depending on what your approach is. Are you going to launch your offers 10 days out, or on Thanksgiving Day, or on the Black Friday itself? But you really want to have things set up and ready to go like a week or two out. So once you get to the day that you're press and go, everything is good to go. Ideally, already approved on the platforms. You're not waiting for creative to be approved, getting rejected. If your account, is it going to support the budget that you want to spend? Have you got funds to top up their account? Some businesses actually get loans a couple of months out, so they can top up their inventory, and also be able to handle the increased media spends on the platforms. And we touched on creative iteration, but really at this point, you've really got your creative plan, and this is where you can do that fine tweaking, A/B testing of iterations. But there should be a plan about how you're going to do that. It's not just ad hoc. We're going to try this maybe, or this other thing some other time. It's like, on this day we're going to test this, and then take the learning straight away, and then put it into the next iteration. So iterate very quickly, and have a plan for that iteration, and a budget for those kind of tests. Everything planned out as much as possible. And I should say email list, not remain list, but warm up your email list, get them excited. Start emailing them. Some businesses are already emailing their email audiences. So you can start as early as September. Most will start in October, and just giving sneak peeks, previews. Just building up that anticipation in the weeks to come. And then after the event itself, there's still plenty of opportunity. There's going to be returns. There's going to be people that have just joined your email list. You can continue to retarget people. They may have bought something they're really focused on, but then there was something else in their cart that they might want to come back to later. So you can continue to leverage that audience that is still kind of a captive audience. They've still got Black Friday on their mind, and they've still got a Christmas ahead of them. So they may have bought a whole bunch of stuff during that Black Friday weekend or week or whatever, but they haven't bought all their gifts for Christmas. You've still got weeks to go. So keep following up and see who are the biggest buyers. The biggest buyers on that weekend are probably going to be your biggest buyers in the weeks coming after Christmas as well. So they are your VIP audience. So just keep following up with them and maximizing the returns there. And then if you have a spare minute, look over the results, see what worked, make some notes, so that next year you're not starting from scratch and having to go over all that data you've forgotten all about again. Just note, what was the things that worked best, what were your main learnings and takeaways, and what are you going to do next year to start off, putting your best foot forward, and making next year's event even bigger than this year's. And that is that. Right, we've got about 15 minutes for any questions or anything. Any comments, feedback? What have you got?
Have you seen any specific type of offer work better than any others? Like if the client is advising on what type of offer they should implement, would you have any opinion based on what you've seen?
In most cases, a kind of site-wide percentage of offers seem to work best, just because they're simple. Customers know what to expect. No confusion. So that across the most verticals, that's the one that works the best. There's some variations within particular verticals, but I wouldn't say I know that much detail by vertical. Either that or picking out a few particular products you want to focus on. That's the other most common approach. A few others that I mentioned before. So the ones that I've highlighted at the top, they're kind of the 5 most common ones. So yeah, that's the site-wide tier discounts. Free gift with purchase is pretty common in some verticals. You'll see this here in health and wellness and beauty and cosmetics. Others, I don't have stats on really, but probably the email subscription one's another good one. Early site access. So the email subscriber should expect to get offers before anyone else. So that's a good way to get more email subscribers. Push that offer early, September, October. Get more and more people to subscribe. Telling them that if you're a subscriber, you will get that offer in your inbox before it goes out on the socials, before anyone else sees it, and you'll probably get the best discounts that way as well. Yeah.
Question about Boxing Day and the Christmas offers. Obviously, that's coming like just a month after. What would you recommend to a client? Like, should they plan both simultaneously? Should they plan both at the same time? How should they split up their time? And like, what are the differences between these two types of campaigns?
Yeah, look, really good question. This is now bigger than Boxing Day, like Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Each individually drive more sales than Boxing Day. So if you had to prioritize one, I prioritize Black Friday. In terms of offers, I don't really have the data kind of say which offers might work better for Christmas, but Boxing Day is kind of quite a different approach. People tend to shop for themselves more, so you move away from that kind of gifting approach, and you can segment the audiences more because they are buying for themselves. But yeah, so don't have much more information on that, so I didn't give it too much thought. I was focused on Black Friday. I guess I would think as far as creative goes, you could take a similar approach where you're, what was the word? You know, combining a BAU creative with offers instead of your Black Friday offers. Where was that slide? Reskin was the word that I was trying to remember. So just do another reskin for now with Christmas and Christmas colours.
I'm just asking because obviously here you presented quite a big timeline where they should start preparing like 3 months ahead of time. And I was just thinking sometimes it's not realistic for smaller businesses.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I'd probably say strategically try and plan both simultaneously, or like do this, prepare the list at the same time.
Yeah, look, that's a really good point. I guess I haven't kind of spoken separately to big retailers versus kind of SMB. The smaller the customer, the less, the shorter the planning period is, and the bigger retailers, they'll plan and be able to plan way further ahead, and they would plan for both. As a small business, well, there's less to plan for a start, but also less resources, and you probably have less data to go on. So yeah, you don't have to plan 3 months out for an SMB.
Just asking because most of our clients are actually in that sort of range, so it could be potentially
Um,
a better upsell, whatever opportunity to find.
Yeah, and look, and that's why we're having this conversation now, because you know, for a lot of them, October is the time when they're planning. So this next month is crucial. Like, they haven't missed the planning phase, like unless there's a really big retailer. So yeah, now is the time when we can talk to them about helping them with their email, or helping them with their creative, their offers, yeah, setting up the campaigns, planning budgets. Yeah, that's what they should be doing now, and that's what we should be helping them with. Yeah.
Sorry if you covered this already during the presentation, but understanding that we've got pre-promo, during promo, and post-promo activities in some instances of some businesses.
Yeah.
Are there any ways that we can go about being out of that learning phase by the time we get to the promotion? Like, do you have any strategies for that, or do we just have to
Are you talking about learning phase, like specifically like meta learning phase?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So once you're in that promotional period, is there any way that you can have, I suppose, have that learning completed by the time you're ready to delivering it? Because you've got to change the messaging. If you've got a pre-promo going into during the promo, you've got to change the messaging in between the two periods. But that will obviously implement another learning period.
Yeah, again, depends on the size of the business. So, for a larger business, the learning happens so quickly that they'll be back where they were within half a day. The learning phase is much shorter now on Facebook, even though they might still say 50 sales in a week. Like, speaking to them directly, like it's more like 10 to 20 sales. So yeah, that learning phase is really much shorter than people think these days. We do have some specific tools that we're utilizing now with catalog ads, where you can actually change the frames around the backgrounds, the frames, the whole appearance of the catalog without resetting learning phase. And that's one of the offers we're currently having in market. I haven't shared it with you. You may have seen Socio in the past. Yeah, we've got a new platform called Confect, which is Socio put their prices up by a lot, but Confect is quite similar. Really easy to deploy, and you just plug in your catalog from Shopify or whatever, WooCommerce. They've got a bunch of templates, or you can easily edit it yourself, and you can deploy different catalogs without resetting learning phase. Remember, Socio had that. Again, they had their fancy term for it, but yeah, that's one way to avoid it. It only works for catalog ads, but yeah, I mean, you can change the whole frame, you can change the background, you can change all the pricing. The changes can be relatively significant. Just the catalog itself can't change, so you've got the products that you've pre-selected when you build the feed or whatever. And it only works with catalogs. Yeah. Thank you all. Cheers. It's been a pleasure. Anyone on the call before we jump off? No. Right. Thanks all. Have a good day.